Hey everybody, welcome to the Toy Duo team. We're going to be talking about action figures, reveals, movies, TV news, and since we're traveling through our 80s episode, it's episode 87 and a little history of 1987. Cue the music.
I feel the need for speed.
Just now realizing
And TV and movies too.
That image was reversed. The
Was
JC
it
Penny
really?
was spelled backwards.
Oh, well, anyways, this is the Toy Duo team. Which image was reversed?
The JC Penny on the Back to the Future was
Oh,
written
you know why?
backwards.
Because somebody
Your logo.
I screenshotted it off of somebody else's YouTube, and they were probably trying to avoid getting like the copyright strike or something like that. And I was like, it's the best clip I could find of it without pulling up the movie and trying to like figure out how to like rip the CD and then extract one little MPEG from the VOB file or something like that. I wasn't gonna go through all that.
You just play it on your TV and point the phone at it.
It always looks crummy. Somebody made a
2008
comment when I
style.
did that, and they were like, we have.
Do you know that half the clips on my videos are done that
Yes,
way?
you just
And
film them
nobody-
on your phone. Yes, it's yes.
I never get any comments. It doesn't seem like anyone notices.
What's
People
even
tell
more
me all
funny
the
is
time.
it's still better quality than all the alien and Bigfoot footage shot on like
It is,
iPhone
yeah.
-1s.
No, come on, that's not.
It is. It's better quality.
Anyways, we got your host this week. Only a few of us showed up. I think Dan might pop in, maybe. But I find your lack of Hammerhead disturbing. Pretty soon there will be no hope of Hammerhead at all. And you got
Another convention, another no Hammerhead reveal.
Cover John. Is that like because your favorite song is or
No, it's
'Cause
because CoverGirl's coming out with blonde hair.
okay. Was there a show called Cover Girl at one time in the
There
80s
probably was. I don't know.
where they were like
Magazine.
it was a photographer and models Cover Up. It was photographers and models,
was
but
it
they
a
were really
Cover-Up?
like some All right, let's say hi to some people.
That was
in the chat.
Charlie's Angels, though, wasn't it?
No, there was a Cover Up. It was that guy that shot himself with the blank doing Russian roulette, and then they had to replace him for season 2 or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, Gaps here. He's saying hello. We got Mr. B joining us. Jonathan Redmond is saying evening all. Gary's Grells is saying boo because he knows that Halloween is coming up. Jumpy McClunky is saying hello, Toy Team. And Mr. B and Gap and Jonathan and Gary. And Paul Morales is here. Let's see.
We got some howdies in there. We've got boo, we've got hellos, we've got howdies, we've got hays, we've got evenings, we got ahoy hoy. Look at that.
Ahoy.
JP is saying
Okay.
ahoy
We got
hoy.
some cowboys.
Nice.
How many ways people say hello?
GeForce is just saying hey. Let's see, Mr. B, Gap. Who else? I didn't bring my glasses again. Sometimes I get Connor's here. I don't know why he doesn't jump in, but let's
I'll
see.
just do these.
Paul Morales, he's probably on dad taxi duty. JT's here. But anyways, this week we're going to talk about, is there a Comic-Con going on in London? Is that the deal?
Yeah, MCM. Yep.
Yeah, so
MCM
there's
Comic
some
Con.
reveals. Yeah, some reveals that came from that. And then just
And
to
I think
remind
there's more tomorrow too. Tomorrow they
Oh,
actually
good.
do like a
Good.
panel or something.
yeah, it's going to be a good weekend then. Ella, laugh out like Rick. Mr. B's laughing at you. Don't be
Pretty
offended.
funny.
That story. Okay. Yeah. All right. So we want to put up this.
You want
you
to
know,
put it up.
Yeah. Anyways, let's just get started. Let's talk about bragging camp. This is the bragging you didn't know you needed. Does anybody have anything they want to show off this week before we really get into the weeds?
I don't. I got that Darth Vader Hallmark ornament, but it's already put away and gone. So
Yeah, good pickup.
Oh,
I don't have
okay.
it to show off.
Okay.
So
Well,
nothing.
Way to be prepared for the show, I
Yeah.
guess.
It's going to get put on the tree. It's already packed to going
The
to the house.
tree's up.
It's going to the house. you know,
Oh.
which I'm in the condo, so I can't show you.
Oh.
Because
Okay.
the tree gets put up at the house.
Okay. I get it.
Yeah.
Rick, you got anything you want to show off? You want to show off all the stuff you got up for sale?
That'll take a long time. I did pick up some brand new C batteries.
Mm-hmm.
Panasonic
like
even. Look at
20
that.
years since I bought C batteries because I had to test some Millennium Falcons and some snow speeders and some troop transports.
The
Yeah, but
battery.
I literally use C batteries for nothing unless it's a vintage Star Wars toy because
Yeah.
You don't have a flashlight?
Yeah, but they all take like one AAA battery now. Like they're all LED batteries. And
Oh,
LED
is that a
lights.
new thing? LED flashlights
Yeah.
or LED batteries?
No,
LED
I meant
batteries.
flashlights.
Yes. LED batteries.
But they take smaller batteries because it's such a minimal light. No pickups this week. Trying to move some vintage toys. There'll be more posted today. If you don't already follow my Heroes and Villains toys page on Facebook, that's where all the pictures and videos and stuff is. I try to get all that stuff on Instagram and Twitter, but they're limited to how many pictures and videos and words you can put, which still blows my mind to this day. Like, you're only allowed, you need 11 less letters. Okay, so I'll have to reword
On what, Twitter?
because Elon wants 11 less letters on my post.
No.
Yeah, Twitter's weird, man.
No, hold on.
Or I can pay them $8 a month.
It's funny that you bring that up. Let me just do this really quick, because that's a different topic. But I picked this guy up at Ross. It was $7.99. I skipped it on the first round because I just had a feeling after last year that all these characters like this were going to just end up over there.
Who is that guy? I
Some
don't
martial
recognize the
arts
cartoon.
Yeah, I don't even know who that is.
And then this one was one that I had picked up earlier in the week. So,
do they both have knee pads?
12
Yep, I'm sure
12
they do.
bucks.
You know, my Ross had nothing. Not a single G.I. Joe item, not a single Marvel Legends, no blacks, nothing. It was all garbage.
This guy was like hidden behind some stuff. So, and then there was another Flint, but that box was open and all the accessories were gone.
Yeah.
So it's
ours had literal garbage there.
Yeah. So
there was like wrappers and like used cups just laying around. It was
the accessories were probably hidden in there somewhere. You just have to like look for them because I don't think anybody was just going to walk off with that little bag.
Oh,
but
I'm pretty sure they're gone.
I did want to get back to Rick and his Twitter rant. Do you know when Twitter was originally created? It was created to send short messages with only a certain number of characters.
Yeah, 100.
Yeah, that's when Blackberries were like the thing.
The whole point of Twitter.
Yeah.
Did you know they made a TV show based on a guy tweeting the stuff that his dad said every day?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
sounds like something Tom Green would do.
They turned it into a book and a TV show.
Yeah, Tom Green's got a new show coming on Amazon.
And what's really funny is my dad says funnier things than that guy's dad.
And I can't believe you're not tweeting.
I know. Well, it's already been done. You know?
Yeah, but you should do it. I mean, it'll catch on again.
The stuff that John's dad says.
Hey, Dave. Hey, Ace.
All right, Dave's Dimension is here.
Actually, we need to actually put video
Ace
cameras.
Ramen Toys is here.
We need to put video cameras all over the condo because the other day I heard this crash. He doesn't want me making fun of him for this. And I went in the room and his bookcase was toppled over on top of his bed.
What?
Like crosswise. And what he was trying to do was he was sitting in his chair, his recliner, and he's watching TV and he's got all his stock things on, like 5 monitors next to him. And he realized that his bookcase, the top of it wasn't being used because he can't reach up there and put stuff up. So he goes, there's this gap from the top of the bookcase to the ceiling that might be like 2 feet of a gap, right? So he decided that if he put a table and lifted the bookcase up onto the table, that it would reach the ceiling. And then he could put stuff under the table and then he can use the whole space.
Sounds safe.
You know what I mean? So he tried to lift the bookcase up onto this table. The table's a flimsy plastic thing that, of course, crushed and destroyed. Everything fell over.
He's okay, though?
Yeah. But
I laughed quieter because you didn't want him to hear you tell him.
Yeah, because he's right over there.
Did you film it?
He doesn't want me making fun of him because he says I make fun of
Does
him.
that video come out tomorrow?
All right. Anyways, that's pretty funny. Okay, so
Oh, hey,
since we're
Ramen
going
Toys.
through
Hi.
our 80s episodes, we're currently on episode 87, which is the history of 1987 you didn't know you needed. So let's pull that up. If anybody has anything that they want to say as their most memorable memory from 1987, now's your time to say it.
I don't remember 1987. Was that? Let's see. That was the year I probably stopped buying GI Joes.
It was the year after 1986 and the year before 88.
Oh, now I know when it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stopped buying GI Joes in 87. And let me see, what was I? So in 80.
You know what's interesting is I forgot to show this off last week when we were doing episode 86. And I don't know why, but I'm just going to show it now. This is the Comic-Con souvenir guide from 1986 and may or may not have been the first year that I ever went to San Diego Comic-Con.
Wow.
Which
Nice.
I just reminded of that because they tried to do their sale for tickets today, but then their systems completely crashed. So
One of the guys, and I just found out that one of the guys in our Diablo clan lives right across from the convention center
really?
in San Diego.
Oh, that's pretty cool. He lives downtown, huh?
Yeah, in that apartment complex, whatever. There's like a building there.
Yep. Nice. All right. So anyways, let's do this. This is the history of 1987. Does anybody know why there's a picture of the British Airways airplane flying on the screen?
Because that's what they got
the
a
Looney
747.
to even out the Looney.
Okay,
picture?
we're not there.
That's when they first got a 747.
No, that British Airways was privatized and was listed on the London Stock Exchange in February of 1987.
Ah,
All right. And then these top two pictures of Starbucks and the Looney are for Rick. Why are those pictures there?
Oh, I'm assuming 1987 is the first year we went from paper $1 bill to coin $1 coin called the Looney.
Yep, June 30th, Canada introduced the $1 coin named the Looney.
Not sure about the Starbucks, but we have a Starbucks every 38 feet here in Canada.
In
It's like a law.
1987, Rick, the very first Starbucks outside of the United States was opened in Vancouver. And that's
like it looks like the Vancouver Sea Bus terminal right there.
Yep, and that's the one that they opened.
And there's one a block away from there, and there's one another 2 blocks away from. Like there's literally when you go downtown, it's like a law or a deal they made where there has to be one with an eyesight wherever you are. It's insane. There's even one major intersection on Robson Street. I don't know if they're still there, but on the kitty corner of each other was like literally 2 big Starbucks.
Right.
Like they were on the same street corners.
bye, Ace. Good night.
Okay, see, I say if you're going to make that station wagon, it should be a green station wagon with wood panels on the side. Just throwing it out.
Family mobile, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. They're saying that Star Tours opened the first Star Wars celebration.
That's right,
Nomad called us suckers, I'm sure. Right? Yeah.
So Disneyland Paris opened that year?
No, what happened was that was the year in March 24th when Michael Eisner, the CEO of Walt Disney and the French Prime Minister and future president of France, Jacques Chirac, signed an agreement to construct the 4,800-acre park.
Yeah,
and then is that the year that Max Headroom came out?
No, on November 22nd, some hackers
that was the hacker
signal of WGN TV for 20 seconds and WTTW for 90 seconds and displayed a video of a man in a Max Headroom mask.
That's right. I remember that now.
Yeah, that was big news.
Hacked.
Surprised nobody remembered. The song Alone by Heart came out in 1987.
Now, Vern and Super John, have you guys ever heard of the Looney?
Yes.
Yeah,
I say it often, but many people don't know what it is.
Do you know?
I even know about the Toonie.
We have a Toonie now too.
On Kim's Convenience.
Yeah.
There's a whole episode where they talk about the loony where they find a loony, and then Janet, like, the daughter buys like a lottery ticket or something with it, and then she wins. And the dad says she can't cash it in because she works at the store, so she's trying to find somebody to cash in it's a whole thing. She tries to get the loony back.
I lived in Rochester, New York, where I was born and raised, and I went to Canada like every other week. And then I moved out to Seattle, which was just south of Vancouver.
Yeah,
and we went to Vancouver like every month. So no, I've never encountered Canada or any of the money there.
So we got rid of the $1 bill, the $2 bill, and the penny. So like, and when we go to stores now, like you got to round it up or down. If you're paying,
I choose to round down.
But is there anywhere else in the world where you go to pay for something and you have to round it up or down because
a swap meet?
You don't have pennies.
So what you're describing is Canada is like a swap meet,
basically.
Okay.
But if you're paying with your credit or debit card, they'll charge you the 33 cents.
Oh, good.
But if you're paying with cash, they'll charge you 35 cents.
Oh, that's
so
good.
It's kind of like.
So Spaceballs and Inner Space. Yeah, we're going to show some movies in a minute, but let's get on to this. Silverhawks. Launched in 1987, Series 1. And the reason I put that Pee Wee Herman is because the show came out in 1986, but it appears that this Pee Wee Herman was like kind of the first toy from Pee Wee's Big Adventure or whatever his show, the Playhouse.
I got him already.
I know you ever what am I?
And then I think the Playhouse toys didn't come out until 88 almost. But these are two kind of toy lines that got their start 1987.
Those are in bad
original shape. Funny man, like, you know, that's all I gotta say about Paul Reubens. Like, he was a very original, classic, funny man that appealed to kids and adults at the same time, kind of thing. In his career of playing one character on and off the stage, like Letterman or, you know, any interviews, he was still
that's why Mark Wahlberg and John Cena are so good, because they basically just play themselves.
You're right.
Every single thing that they're in. All right, and here's some movies that came out in 1987. You got RoboCop, Lethal Weapon, Predator, The Lost Boys, Full Metal Jacket, Spaceballs, A Princess Bride. And you know what? There were a whole bunch of them, like that Inner Space that Jumpy was saying. Did you guys watch Inner Space?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, for sure. A lot of movies in 87, and a lot of these were money-making movies, too, like with sequels and, you know, whatnot to come.
Let me pull them
up. I kind of swore we talked about Lost Boys a while back.
I think maybe you tried to put it in 1985.
Because I thought we even talked about the sequels.
So my favorite of what you're showing here, I'm a huge Spaceballs fan, always will be. So I'm going to pick Spaceballs.
Predator, man. Predator's the best.
I can tell you there's one movie on here that I have not seen the entire movie. Can anyone guess what it is?
Full Metal Jacket.
Princess Bride?
I saw it.
Lethal Weapon.
Saw it.
Well, then it's got to be like Spaceballs.
Full Metal Jacket. That had Johnny Depp in it, I believe.
I have not seen the Spaceballs.
Oh my god!
All the way through.
Is that you lose all your geek cred in our community.
Don't need any geek cred. Okay, let me pull this up really quick. Where is it? Oh, okay. So I'm just going to share this screen right here because this is from IMDb. This is like 50 movies from 1987. So I just
I saw the Untouchables. Yeah, I remember the
Untouchables. Evil Dead 2.
Yeah, we went to Evil Dead. I saw that one.
Planes, Trains, and
Automobiles. Oh, that was a brilliant one. Yeah, good.
Raising Arizona. Dancing.
Yeah, man. Like we were at the theaters every week in 87. All of us.
Good Morning Vietnam. I could not wait. I bought that album. Had a bunch of his audio.
Yeah, had a good
show.
When movies had soundtracks.
We saw Hellraiser, Running Man. Yeah.
Running Man. Yeah. You know what we could have did? We could have just said how many
Schwarzenegger movies in 87?
Yeah, how many Schwarzenegger movies came out in 1980?
Beverly Hills Cop 2.
What? Yeah, Beverly Hills Cop 2. Adventures in Babysitting.
Oh yeah, Adventures in Babysitting. I remember that one. Bad Taste. So there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
Some kind
You
of
want to know? You want to know a funny fact about Bad Taste? So we had a VHS rental shop. So where I grew up in upstate New York, it was like near between Rochester and Buffalo, or between Rochester and Syracuse. That whole Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse area. We had small towns, so it took a long time before a Blockbuster showed up. The towns were way too small to get something that big, that kind of commercial and chain. So a lot of mom and pop VHS shops were around, and there was one a town or two away that actually exploded, blew up.
Because it was so popular.
It like literally blew up into little splinters. Like the whole thing just exploded, and there was always a suspicion that the people who owned it were like back in their money and everything, and they left the gas on, and then they lit it on fire.
Got their $800 in insurance money.
Got their insurance money. Yeah.
explode?
But so everything blew up. There were literally like toothpick sized pieces all over the place. And none of the videotapes survived except for one. There was only one video that survived and was playable. Everything else was shattered and broken in half, and that was Bad Taste.
And did they still rent that out?
Yes, my friend Nofrio bought it off him, and he hid it in his collection as the only surviving videotape from the explosion.
I'm surprised that those guys did not go out and get a whole bunch of blank VHS tapes and recreate all the movies that they got destroyed in the back alley, and then rent their copies out.
Man, just think, like, it was a huge business, right? Like the whole VHS rental thing, and those stores, they would have to. And I remember, learning a bit about the business when I was young. Those stores would pay hundreds of dollars each for those VHS tapes. Now we can go to the store and we buy those VHS tapes or DVDs for $20. But those stores, they had to buy them for like hundreds of dollars to be. And we as consumers, we can buy them for like $30 or whatever they cost, right?
No.
But they had to pay so much more for them. That was their licensing fee was. They paid that much more, and then when the movie wore out, they had to do it again. So when popular movies came out, they'd have to buy like 20 copies of Back to the Future or whatever they could rent out. And it was such a huge money-making thing to just disappear, when like kind of the internet happened. And
so prior to, I know what you're saying about them having to pay more money for VHS.
Yeah, it was pretty silly money.
But prior to Top Gun coming out, buying a personal VHS of a movie was still like $75, $80, or $100.
Yeah.
It was Top Gun doing that Pepsi commercial that made the companies realize that they could sell like a license or a commercial on their product and then bring that cost down, because that when Top Gun came out, it was like $20 something.
Yeah, I remember that stuff.
Yeah. JT saying Full Metal Jacket was filmed in London, even the Vietnam parts. Dave's Dimension is saying Masters of the Universe came out.
Yeah, Dolph Lundgren.
And G-Force is saying, what is your major malfunction, numbnuts?
Yeah, RoboCop. Some of those movies.
No, that's Full Metal Jacket.
That's Full Metal Jacket. What are you talking about?
Oh, that quote.
Anyways, it was a really good time for movies. I did want to show this before. Okay, so we're going to do the toy conversation thing in a minute, but I want to show this off because last week we showed this on our Hot or Not section, and I just thought it was kind of cool because we got this picture of this Cobra thing that came out.
Yeah.
And then there's some more images of it. So it's kind of cool because if you look, it looks like there's like a machine gun rack or a
weapon rack in there.
In there. Yeah. The sandbags look actually kind of cool in this picture to me.
The barbed wire is awesome.
Look, one booth that's got a radar detector and a light up there. Hopefully that light will have an LED in it. Otherwise, that's just Photoshop. But anyways, then you can see over here, which I think is really cool. They got them all stacked up, right? Yeah. Which is showing how they're modular and stuff like that. And then if you go down, you can see from the back how they had them stacked, and it looks kind of cool. I mean, this kind of looks makeshift to me because they're not necessarily all stuck together, because you can see that little bit of a space right there. But
Which is weird because I think they said they can all stick together. Like when they first revealed this, they said they are modular.
Well, they have it slightly curved.
I did it.
Yeah,
I think
for
they did it that way
appearance,
because they wanted to get like this image right
They
here.
wanted to get a slight
I just don't
curve.
like that image you're pointing at now because it literally looks like 12
It's curved
stacked
the opposite direction.
porta-potties.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it just looks like 12 stacked porta potties, like Jiffy John's, porta pot. What do you call them down there? Like
We call them porta potties.
temporary construction toilet box things.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So I wanted
But
to
it's a
kind of
start for like
pull
mini
that
play
up and show
sets.
it. And then I had something else pulled up that I wanted to show. Oh, okay, now that's for something else. We'll do that like in a little bit. But anyways, I thought that was kind of cool. So
has anyone ever used a porta potty?
Yes.
See, I don't. No,
well,
like,
there's some opportunities.
There are
where you have no
places.
choice.
Only
There
for
are
number
places
one.
I've gone. There are places I've gone with groups of friends that only had a porta potty, and every one of them will go in the woods or find some other place to go rather than use the porta potty, because porta potties are so
hold on,
because they're so gross. They're so gross and they're
talking
so
about
horrible.
porta potties. Look, JT says, do you remember when you had to wait 3 or 4 years for a movie to come out?
Yeah, now they come out while they're in the theater.
Yeah,
you can pre-order Venom now.
Look, John, Connor saying the modular is only 3 per customer, and he's all, oh wait, sold out. I'm thinking that the modular is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, to where if you go to the convention, you can only buy 1, but when they put it up for sale on their website later, you'll be able to buy 5
at a cheaper price.
Yeah. Okay, so anyways, here is the toy conference. Oh no, see, I'm all back. Okay, so this is a crowdfund update you didn't know you needed, and I'm going to have to go to Hasbro Pulse because I think I snapped this image of the currently funded.
We got a week left to get Rick Moranis.
Does somebody want to? I'll do it since I'm the only one doing research here.
Is it higher?
So is today the cutoff?
No, but I think it is during the week this week coming up.
It's $68.98 is what it currently is. They said 14 days.
That's what they said.
When did this thing launch? Was it last weekend?
45 days total. So
no, to get the figure was the 2 weeks. Wasn't it at New York Comic-Con, and wasn't that like 2 weeks ago?
I believe so.
So is today 14 days?
I don't think it would be on a weekend, but I don't know. It should say right there on the website.
If they launched it on Friday, which is what they did, right? The 14 days is either Friday or Saturday, 2 weeks later. And if New York Comic-Con wasn't last week, or was it last week? Was New York Comic-Con last week?
You have until it says 31 days left.
I can't remember. I don't know.
45 minus 14.
Okay, so you got another week. Okay, I thought New York Comic-Con was 2 weeks. Oh, this is how time is just running. Anyways, so this is where it's at. It's currently sitting at about 50%, and I thought it would be well closer to the 12,000 by now. And I'm just wondering. I mean, for an action figure collector, it's kind of like, yeah, this is super cool, right? But for like Ghostbusters fans, like Dave's in the chat here. Tell me, Dave. I mean, I know that you got the backpack and the PKE meter and the ghost trap and stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure you jumped on this right away, but what's the feeling with other like Ghostbusters collectors? Because that PKE meter and that ghost trap funded in 3 days.
Yeah, and same with the backpack too, didn't it?
Right.
Fun pretty quick.
What is it? Is it the price? Is it the options? Is it that it's action figure related?
I don't know, man. There is an action figure community that does.
Is it just that they put out too many different versions of this in the last year?
I don't know. I mean, like, do you think that competing it against a timed release Sentinel was a good idea?
I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think it's that just currently over the past few years, no Ghostbuster toys on the shelves to go with this in any way, shape, or form. Like they were cleared out at the dollar store
So you're
several
thinking
years,
like
several
somebody
years ago.
who today is saying, "Oh yeah, I really want this thing, but I have no Ghostbusters figures."
No, it's true. Like it's weird that they would do it, and there's not an existing toy line. Like G.I. Joe has a toy line, Star Wars has a toy line, Transformers has a toy. Like they all have toy lines. Like that Hasbro makes money off of by producing these toys. This is a toy line Hasbro has not been making money off of producing toys, but yet they still have the license. So I don't know. Like we mentioned briefly, quick to show, Hasbro might be losing a couple licenses, so maybe this is one they need to make some money off of or get rid of it, kind of thing. Because
This to me says a lot that this is just stuck at like 50% because, and I think you're right. Like, I mean, if you don't have the Ghostbusters figures, you're not getting them unless you go to eBay. Unless they come out with some announcement like, "Hey, we're going to throw the
in the
plasma
next week or so,
figures
yeah,
back
they
out."
should announce something. Would be
Yeah.
good marketing.
I think it would be too. Like, hey, we're re-releasing the plasma series in a 4-pack or something like that,
Yeah,
so you
they're
can
like,
anticipate your Ecto One. Yeah.
And it's, you know what, like they wouldn't have to produce 20,000 of them, or you know what I mean. Like I don't know what their minimums are for making 4 action figures, but I mean, because they're making this vehicle, it's kind of a no-brainer to just go ahead and do that. Whether you make it exclusive to Amazon or Hasbro or Fan Channel, make it available everywhere so you get those numbers up. But just do it now. Like don't wait
I
until
agree with
after
that
this
because
maybe doesn't get funded, because then you have zero chance of producing
right,
an
no,
action figure
but
line.
I agree with that, Rick, because right now, if you don't have the figures and you're just coming into collecting and you're like, yeah, this is cool, your only option retail wise is to get the deluxe so you at least have 4 Ghostbusters to
Yep.
put in that vehicle.
Yep.
And then you got to do the Ghostbusters 2 version.
Which is, I don't think that's a for me, like I would prefer the first one, but as far as Ghostbuster fans go, I think they're very open and they love both the movies and all the movies. Like Dave is, more of the Ghostbuster fanatic, but I mean, I know he's a fan of Ghostbusters 2 as much as he is of Ghostbusters 1. Like I don't know, it's kind of like us choosing between, a Millennium Falcon and Star Wars and Return of the Jedi. Like they're the same thing, but one's missing a radar dish, or like.
Yeah.
But yeah, get some figures out, or it's going to really hurt this.
Yeah, I think they need to get the figures on at least say announce that, hey, we got these pipeline. Here's where the problem lies, right? Because they just released their earnings report. They have some ups and downs, but a lot of downs. And like Jonathan said, Plasma Series figures peg warmed hard, right? So taking that into consideration, and yes, they did. And like you said, they all ended up at the dollar store. You don't want to take your company, which has already lost money, and recreate figures that already lost you money. This is why this is the craziest HasLab to me.
Yeah. See, I'll tell you why, like for me, so I had just bought, I don't know what it was before the Plasma series, but they did come out with 4 Ghostbusters, the 4
Yeah,
Ghostbusters.
Mattel did with
And
a glow in the dark.
and they
ghost.
had the they had the glow in the dark ghost as the Build-A-Figure.
Yeah,
that
was
with the
Mattel.
slash through it. So I bought those, and then it felt like 3 months later they came out as a Plasma series thing.
Yeah.
So I didn't bother buying them because I was like, I just bought these. Why do I need to buy them on Plasma series now? I literally just bought these. And then they did the retro car. They did 2 different movie versions of the cars, like for the newer movies. And then they did that 3 3/4 one that was supposed to kind of go with the O-ring ones. So, in my opinion, in the last year or 2 years, whatever, I feel like I've seen 4 different versions of this car already come out. And I bought a retro version, a movie version. I wanted
Kenner
the
version.
O-ring. I wanted that's what I mean, the Kenner version.
Yeah.
I wanted the O-ring version, but never found it for a good price because I've got the O-ring figures coming. So I was hoping to put them with the car, but
And because
that's not going to happen now. But so I wouldn't buy this because I'm in the thing where I'm just like, I just bought like 2 or 3 different versions of the car. Why do I need another one? You know?
And what they did too,
cool.
the O-ring figures, is they revealed and said, "Here, we're making these O-ring figures, 375," and then a week later, or maybe it was the same, podcast kind of thing, they said they're going to re-release the 3 3/4 Kenner looking vehicle, not the Kenner, but the modern vehicle to go with those O-ring figures. So they did go back and re-release a vehicle that was already out for the kids movie, just put a new box on it and said this is for the O-ring figures. So they did reproduce something to go with an accompanying figure. So it seems to make sense that they would remake some figures to go with this accompanying HasLab project. Otherwise, there's no toys in the shelves for Ghostbusters.
Yeah, so
by any toy maker.
Jonathan's saying they could definitely do a made to order for the re-release box set of the original uniforms. I think that would be a good plan. I think they should announce that now so that people know that they can get them. They did a really good job the other day. I saw that video where they answered some questions. I don't think they really took the tough questions, but at least they covered the whole sticker thing. But I got to ask you guys a question. Do you have any Hasbro item that has a vinyl repositionable sticker?
No, no toy companies have ever really used vinyl stickers.
When they were describing that in the video, I'm racking my brain to figure out what sticker are they talking about, because they made it seem like that was like Hasbro's thing. Like you should know what sticker they're talking about. And I'm like, what repositional sticker are they talking about?
Well,
and then I was like, and hold on, and then I was like thinking, I guess I didn't really look at the stickers that came with like the Hiss tank or anything like that. So I'm curious, were those stickers that came with like the Hiss tank?
I don't know.
Sort of the Sky Striker, yeah. Are they? Because the Sky Striker and those things had, like the Sky Striker had 2 different sets or 3 different sets of stickers, right?
Right, because
maybe they were made
like some sort of.
I'm pretty sure those are all paper stickers with a laminate on them.
Yeah, so I'm curious to know if anybody has any of those and put the stickers on their HasLabs or whatever. Is that the stickers they're talking about? Because when she was given that little thing talking about the stickers, talking about these are Hasbro's vinyl repositionable stickers, and we're going to give you extra ones in case you make a mistake or something like that. So there's extras. I just could not in my mind think of one thing that I have that came with any type of repositional vinyl sticker.
Well, it's because it's not a thing. Like it's.
But they made it seem like a thing.
Well, I know, but what there is there's the adhesive on the back of stickers and decals. And the first thing I want to clear up is they're now calling them decals or decals. Decals is a Canadian word for stickers. It doesn't mean vinyl. It doesn't mean paper. It's both words are used. The word decal is more popular in Canada. The word stickers is more common worldwide. But yeah, stickers usually are paper and, rip. And the glue is permanent adhesive, which is the kind of glue that's on glue sticks and Elmer's glue and glue that you use, wood glue. Now, there is adhesive now in the marketplace over the past 10 years in the signage and sticker making industry it's not considered removable. It's just less adhesive. So when you can peel it off again, as long as it's a smooth surface. So if you go and stick it to paper or like your painted wall of your house, which is a paper coated, particle board type thing, it's not removable anymore. But when it's on plastic or glass or something that's a smooth surface, you can remove any vinyl graphics.
Tell me if you can hear this.
From the Ghostbusters HasLab team here to answer.
Can you guys hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, let's watch this for a second.
About our new Plasma Series Ectomobile Anniversary HasLab. So thank you to everybody who was able to make it to New York Comic Con this last weekend to come and check out our panel and our beautiful new HasLab model. So we know that everybody is really excited about this project, but we have gotten a couple of questions. So we really want to make sure that you have all of the answers to these questions so that you feel as great about this project as we do. So question number 1, Can you tell us a little bit more about the decals that are included in this project? Absolutely. So the decals that come with this are our standard repositionable vinyl decals that we use across all of our projects. So when we say repositionable, it means that it won't be a permanent adhesion with the decals, so you'll be able to reposition them when you put them down. So kind of our standard is you will at least get 5 re-sticks out of each decal, sometimes up to 10, depending on the circumstances and how you're repositioning them. So while that isn't enough to necessarily change your car body from an Ecto 1 to an Ecto 1A every day, it will let you make sure that those decals are perfectly aligned exactly how you want them to be. And then we are making sure that we are giving you a couple of extra decals just in case you're really unhappy with how one turns out. You can kind of start over with a new decal. So I hope that that helps with a little bit more explanation on the decals.
Okay, so it doesn't because to me, because I don't know what their standard repositional decal is, because like I said, I don't have one thing that's ever had their standard.
And she said that's come with all of our HasLab projects.
Really? Is that okay?
That's what
My
she
Razor
said.
Crest doesn't have any stickers.
So then what I have to do is I have to go look at the stickers that I got with my His tank, and see what the heck they're talking about.
Because I never
Yeah,
knew
so
that,
like even if they are vinyl stickers, which means they're plastic instead of paper, that means they'll last forever. Let's
Sure,
say.
but I mean, I'm not worried about them
They're
lasting
weatherproof
forever.
and
I'm worried
waterproof.
about being able to switch back and forth between the Ghostbusters 1 and the Ghostbusters 2, or I'm going to have to like buy that deluxe and then end up like choosing which one's going to permanently be on my shelf. Or like she says later on in the video, that if you want the Ecto 1 and the Ecto 1A sitting next to each other, you have to buy 2 full, basically HasLabs and 1 deluxe, right? It's like, so okay, let's see. I would have thought the Firehouse would have been a better HasLab. GeForce is saying I'm going to get a copyright strike. It's fine. Movie.
It's a good idea. Like
and if it's got glue, it's going to leave behind residue, right?
No, not this kind of glue. It's very low tack. It's like 50% the tackiness.
Let's see. Bender Rodriguez saying, "What's up, party people?" JT says, "I pronounce it decals when somebody says decals."
That's American way.
Silver Scratch Production. How you doing, man? What's up, peeps? You got, in my experience, it means window clean type decals, which never work. I agree with the GeForce, but they're going to throw some hot glue on there.
They're definitely not static cling stickers because they have adhesive on them.
So I think it's kind of interesting because they're standard. I mean, it's a standard. So I'm going to have to go back and look at my
You can go to Walmart and buy shipping labels, which are permanent adhesive labels. But you can also buy removable labels at Walmart, Staples, to put on like
I can't
Tupperware or your coffee mugs. There are removable stickers, and they've been on the market a long time.
We're throwing in a couple of sets, I'm sure would sort of most adult collectors. That would sort most,
like Post-it notes. I mean,
or you just buy new ones on eBay.
I'm going to be swapping that car out every other day.
I'm just not even going to own it. So
you know what I think? I think that so on the Vanguard has like those doors, and they have like kind of like a Lego peg system so that you can take the doors out. I almost think that the 2 side doors and that rear hatchback door should have been like removable and replaceable.
That's what I predicted originally.
And when you get the deluxe, not only would you get the top, but you would get the Ghostbuster 2 doors. That would have solved any and everybody's problem for having to worry about sticker placement.
That was my original prediction and my original Left Coast theory with Dave's Dimension on his channel. I'm like, we're just before they announced anything, right? I'm like, they're for sure going to make a Ghostbuster 2. They're going to make an extra tailgate. They're going to make 2 extra doors, and they're going to make an extra roof, and it's going to be an add-on.
I remember you had that conversation, but then you came on here last week and said you were 100% correct in all your predictions.
Yeah, except for they cheaped out and went the sticker route instead of 3 molded parts, 2 doors and a hatchback.
I just want to, I guess I have to, I have to go find that sticker pack because I'm not sure I know where it is. But now I really want to see what a standard repositional vinyl decal is.
I hope it backs. After seeing more videos of it today from, the Hasbro people, it's cool, man. It looks really like all the lights and sounds
Yeah, it looks
are
good.
a very cool added feature.
Right. All right.
But
So
someone
with,
made a comment. There was that magazine Build Your Own Ecto one that exists. Like those are like die
but it's a
cast.
little bit bigger, or
A
a little
little
bit
bit,
bigger, a
but
little
it's
off scale for a 112, and then it costs like $5,000 or something like that.
or
Even
more
though
like
you can get
500, but
even though you can get the first kit for $1.95, that's not how it works out.
yeah, but you
have
need
to
all
look at
500 kits.
Yeah, you got to look at no, it's like 50 kits, but after the first one, they're like $15 a piece or
And
something.
it's definitely a lot cooler than
Mhm.
this plastic version. So
Yeah.
like, I mean, if you're a total Ghostbusters nerd and you
Yeah.
bought the Hot Toys version and you bought the Diamond Select version, you bought the Kenner version, you probably bought that with the Agostini. You probably bought that version too, right? Because it was
Yeah.
popular.
There was
Listen,
a
like-
Lego, there was a Playmobil, there were all
Lego
kinds
did a big
of
one too, yeah.
Playmobil.
When you talk about see, and this is where I get into this again. Like, I don't really want to have the conversation or argument about it, but I'm just going to say it. This is where, like, I don't think the Ecto One is a HasLab. I'm just going to leave it there. I think that a HasLab should be something that wouldn't normally end up in a toy line. That's
I hear
and I'm
you're saying,
hoping that with these time cells or whatever, that's what they're going to do. Is they were really going to like fine tune these HasLabs and really truly make them dream projects.
or make them a little cheaper so they don't got to crowdfund them, right?
Yeah, but then
$100
it's not
cheaper.
a HasLab because then it's not a dream project, right?
Well, it kind of is. If say they did approach their big retailers, hey, would you like to buy this Black Series scale X-Wing? And all of them are like, hell no, 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 no. That's usually where they're like, okay, well, we think it'd be popular. Let's try and HasLab it. They might do that. They might offer the Rancor to all these stores, and they're like, no,
Yeah.
we can do that. So then they have to turn and go HasLab.
I get what you're saying, but the problem is then you
Some
got
of
to
that stuff they keep
you
private.
got to get them to pitch the right X-wing, right? When they go to the retailers and say, "Hey, do you want to do this Black Series X-wing and Lieutenant Callahan, who's been in one Star Wars show that a lot of people kind of don't, or do you want to get an X-wing with Luke Skywalker?"
Have you heard of him?
You know what I mean? All those retailers would say, "Yeah, give us the Black Series X-wing with Luke Skywalker because we know people are going to come in and get that, but we don't know who this Lieutenant Callahan is." Maybe we can ask Carson Teva, who's been in almost all of the new Star Wars shows, who still doesn't have one basic figure.
Yeah. Fingers crossed. We'll see if something's announced tomorrow.
Let's see. Jonathan's also saying those magazines are super expensive. Blue Harvest Mark paid the best part of $2,000 for his X-Wing fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So anyways, this is the toy conversation you didn't know you needed. So this week we know that Hasbro came out with their earnings report. It was kind of like good and bad. There's some speculation. I'm going to bring this up because John had talked about this a long time ago. And one of the ideas that I thought is maybe we just have like a real short conversation before we get in the hot or not. A what if conversation. Hasbro loses the Star Wars license. Now, John should be jumping on me right now because he had previously said that Hasbro was purposely tanking the Star Wars lines so that they could reduce the value of the license so that they can get it cheaper when it came out. And he's over there thinking like, wow, I can't believe you remembered that. But I do remember that we had this conversation. And
it was a viable strategy, you know.
It's almost like, John, what you said is coming true, but partly what happened was, I gotta ask then, is Hasbro going out there creating all these social media accounts to like say how bad like Ahsoka and all those shows are too?
Yeah, right.
Just to devalue the license so they can get it cheaper?
I don't know.
But what if?
But is Disney lumping everything together now, or are they going to do like a separate license for Marvel and Star Wars, or are they going to?
They're both options. I think Hasbro's deal was a group option, so it did include Marvel and Star Wars and probably other properties too that Disney has, like their
Snow
White movies and Vantage, with the stuff that they make. But the rumors are starting to float around the interwebs that
The one that we found,
Hasbro will no longer be making Marvel and Star Wars figures after next year.
Remember we found the contract that ended in 2013, and that one was just for Star Wars. It didn't include Marvel, and that was with that was probably right before Disney.
As well,
was that right around when Disney got Star Wars? Yeah,
it was about the same time.
So that's
but
probably
you never know.
also
Like
why it expired.
I think Hasbro's done well for them. Like they're the number one toy, license holder for Star Wars since the beginning of time. Like because they acquired Kenner and stuff. But there are other companies that currently do make Star Wars action figures. Diamond Select is a license. They make 7-inch action figures. They make dolls. They make statues. Like there's Jazzwares makes the mini vehicles and stuff. So there's other companies that are kind of newer than Hasbro. I don't know the other one, but the other ones are starting to do Ninja Turtles, and they're going to do Mask and Strawberry Shortcake. Those are all Hasbro brands that they're subleasing, we'll call it, to those smaller companies to make Strawberry Shortcake toys and for companies to make G.I. Joe toys like other companies. But those are the brands they own, which they still make great income off of that. But as far as paying Disney or paying Hasbro licensing rights to Disney for Star Wars and Marvel, maybe that's where they might need to cut some costs and either drop the license or not being offered it again. I think both of those options exist. They may get the first right to refusal, and then they might turn it down, or it might be too much.
See, I would think that if you were like if you're in control of Disney and Star Wars, Disney, Star Wars, Marvel, stuff like that, I would think that you wouldn't want to give them exclusive. You would take out the exclusive clause. And if Hasbro continues to make figures, I think you would just be like, you have a license to make figures, but we're also going to have the option of selling that license to other companies.
Yeah, because I think the license they have is called the Master Toy License. So they have all the options.
Like when you go to Disney World right now, when you walk out of every single ride, you walk out of the Haunted Mansion, there are Haunted Mansion figures made by Super 7 Reaction. You walk out of Tron, the ride, there are Tron figures. You walk out of like the Mickey Mouse, the roller coaster, the train thing where the train ride where you're in a cartoon, there's Mickey Mouse and stuff made by Super 7. So every ride has Super 7 action figures that pertain to that ride, except for Star Wars. And you know that Disney Parks is screaming at them going, you've got to somehow get Star Wars figures in here, And so I think that Disney's going to be looking at their parks and saying, yeah, we've got these action figures that are 3 3/4 on, they're 5 POA. They're at every single ride except for Star Wars.
But could they throw those retro figures outside of Star Tours and outside of Rise of the Resistance? But they could. But they could.
For some reason, Hasbro doesn't want to sell them there.
Well, because Disney makes their own Star Wars figures that they sell.
Disney saying, we've seen what Hasbro's doing and nobody's buying them. So why do we want to stock our park with stuff that we're going to have to sell?
Yeah, so I would think that Disney Parks, Disney themselves would go, so therefore when we renew the license, we want to take the exclusive clause away so that we can give a license to Super 7 so they can make Star Wars 5 POE to put in our
John,
again, it's not an
you didn't have to say that like Hasbro has the right to make the live action versions, and then Super 7 has a right to make like a cartoon version, or
you don't have
a comic book version. Is that
you control the license? If you control the media, all you have to do is say, we're going to give you a license, but you have to know you don't have exclusive rights to these characters. We're going to also sell the license to other companies to produce toys. Well, and if that creates competition, then too bad for you. If you want the license, you got to live with it. You know what I mean?
So
Why would you limit yourself to one company?
So the
don't.
license would be
That's what
cheaper
I
for,
said.
like, say, Hasbro, because they're not getting an
Of
exclusive
course.
license. Yeah.
Yeah, because they're not getting exclusive rights. Yeah.
So Hasbro's rights include 3 3/4, 6-inch, as well as children's a line of action figures, plushies, whatever goes along with the children's rights of toys, board games, other things that go along with it. It's not just exclusive, but it's exclusive for those scales. So, but saying that, you can go to Disney parks and you can buy that scale of an action figure not made by Hasbro. So and you can buy a 7-inch action figure not made by Hasbro, made by Diamond. But
not in Star Wars.
It's not exclusive. Like, they exist.
Not in Star Wars.
It's just limited.
Not in Star Wars.
All right.
Chris
Here's my
Chris and I were just at the park, and there's no Star Wars.
They just
figures
released
there.
the Halloween version
hold on.
of
Besides
R5D4
licensing argument.
Yeah, those
about
are
where
made by
it's gonna
Hasbro.
go.
No, they're made by Disney.
Okay.
They got a
Besides
Disney name on
besides
them, but
your,
they're made
like,
by Hasbro.
selling figures in
they're not.
parks,
Yes, they
and
are.
Same with those
They're the
Build-A-Droids.
Build-A-Figure ones. They're the Build-A-Figure
The
droids.
Build-A-Figure figures at Disney parks are not made by Hasbro.
Yes, they are.
They're not.
okay, hold on. You guys can argue about that some other time.
Yeah.
I don't really care about that.
He just doesn't want to
Because that
admit
has
he's
nothing to
wrong.
do with the
Okay,
conversation we're having.
move on.
No, I'm not wrong.
What
I'm
I'm-
telling you,
what I'm saying
they're
is-
made by Disney. Disney has their own toy factories.
Okay,
If
we're
you
not
don't
talking
agree
about
with
that.
me, it doesn't mean I'm wrong.
They don't.
Do you know what I mean?
Listen.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Okay,
don't.
I'm going to make my point now. So what I'm really talking about is this. I'm deep into a 6-inch Star Wars action figure line, the Black Series. If Hasbro loses the license, and this is really the conversation that I thought we were going to be having, not some argument about who is going to
keep
buy a
going.
license or how a license should be split up. What I'm saying is, if Hasbro loses the license and say McFarlane gets it, I'm not collecting a 7-inch Star
That's
Wars
right.
action figure line. And I'm not starting over, and I'm not buying another Luke Skywalker from New Hope, and I'm not buying Han Solo from A New Hope, and I'm not buying Chewbacca and Princess Leia.
agree.
I'm not doing it. I'm not building.
I'll just be done. Yeah, I'll be done. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It
The
could be
only
done.
way
You never
it
know.
works for me is if a company, say like Spin Master, who's coming out with those PlayStation figures in the 6-inch scale, or if McFarlane decides, yeah, we'll try the 6-inch scale, or Mattel gets it and they go back to that 6-inch scale, but it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same size, because if you take this Superman,
No, it wouldn't continue
Which
unless
is-
someone bought
which is that
Hasbro.
Mattel kind of 6-inch line, and you throw this Stormtrooper up next to him, they don't go together.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So there is a variation between those. And the thing is, I'm going to be out. So the only people in my mind that are going to be collecting these new Star Wars figures are new collectors.
New collectors.
Yeah.
I think if Todd got it, like McFarlane, he would do like what he's doing right now at Marvel. He'd have posed statues in 2 or 3 different scales. And that's how Hasbro can keep their 3.75, 6-inch license ongoing and renew it. But let McFarlane make statues. Let other companies make different toys that aren't, 3 3/4 or 6-inch toys by Hasbro. I bet you Hasbro keeps the license. It's, rumors are rumors, but
I won't, Connor. And the way that I prove it is I have never bought one of those SH Figure Art Star Wars figures, which look awesome, and I think would perfectly fit in. I have not done that yet, and I don't think I'm going to. I think what I would probably end up doing is I would probably just buy Legends or something else, and I would go to that Syndicate Customs guy or whatever, or one of these 3D customizers who's just cranking out heads and body pieces that you can just substitute on top of your figure and make the figures that you want. That's what I would end up doing to add in characters that I really want in my Star Wars line. I'd go buy like a bunch of like those New Hope Lukes that I used for doing this Greatest American Hero figure, because he's such a basic figure and you could get them cheap, and I would just buy kits and just build my own.
Yeah.
Do you think in 10 years from now, so 2055, any toy company will be making action figures for Darth Vader and Yoda and Stormtrooper and Obi-Wan Kenobi? Or will it just be based on whatever Star Wars is coming out in 2055, like raise grandchildren movies and based on modern.
Well,
Because I kind of don't see them making, unless it's a throwback. It's a 50-year anniversary of Kenner. Here's a re-release of Stormtrooper and Darth Vader 25 years after the Black Series collapsed or ended. Because I just don't see it being a marketable
Stormtroopers will always
product
end up
in
being
25
figures
years.
in a line just because they're like so iconic. Luke Skywalker will probably end up being changed somehow, and just like that retro carded one where they put the picture of the Luke Skywalker they used in the Mandalorian
Like a cartoon version
TV show, so he'll look a little bit different. And then Han Solo will probably just be the dude from the Solo movie or something like that. People will
they'll find a way. They'll animate Han Solo and Luke and 3PO, and then they'll make all new toys based on those cartoon versions.
I honestly think that before we pass away, before we're old enough to be dying off, we are going to see a complete reboot of Star Wars, and eventually we will see a remake of Star Wars.
We did. We got a reboot of Star Wars. It was called The Force Awakens.
No, but I mean like a reboot.
A new actor playing Luke Skywalker.
A clear reboot.
New Leia. Yeah, a total.
Original
I hope they wait till after we all pass.
The original trilogy.
They will do a remake because they're gonna get into such a big hole eventually with all these films and TV shows that they're just not going to be able to write themselves out of it. Yeah, so they're not going to be able to write themselves out of it. Yeah.
So basically, John, if I understand you correctly, what you basically said is Hollywood in general is just completely out of any creativity whatsoever. So eventually, instead of trying to make something new, like we did with the Acolyte or whatever, they will just clearly have to give in and remake what was already made and then change it up a little bit so that newer audience can actually sit through it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like we need a Spider-Man origin in the year 3000.
Yeah, because there's already been, with every other franchise, there's already been, even Star Trek technically got rebooted. There's already been,
probably
more than any other.
James Bond got rebooted. Spider-Man's been redone 3 times.
James Bond get rebooted? Wait, when did James Bond get rebooted?
Well, every time they change
the Daniel Clark stuff, isn't that all starting at the beginning again?
Every James Bond is like the story of Bond. To me, it's like
yeah, but they started with like James Bond year 1, like with this new actor that's currently in there, right?
He didn't go to like basic training in the first episode. He was already
the Royal, whatever that place is. I don't know, the Hotel Royale or whatever. That was his first. That was his first mission. His first
Casino Royale.
Yeah, Casino Royale. That's the first mission of Bond, the first book, and that was the first movie of this new character. It was a total reboot. My brother was a big fan of all of the James Bond movies, and he said that is technically a restart of the James Bond franchise.
But I almost feel like Rick said, that's like every time they change the actor, it's kind of a reboot, but it's not a refresh because nobody's referencing what happened with another James Bond character in there.
No, very true.
That's true. Right? Yeah, that's true.
And all in the same storyline.
Yeah, and while Roger Moore was James Bond, Sean Connery came back and did Never Say Never Again, right? And they didn't cross over; they were like the two separate Bonds. So it's the Bond multiverse.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you imagine?
But what I mean is, like, Batman's already been done 3 or 4 different times. Superman's been rebooted 2 or 3 times.
Multiverse. Didn't you see?
So we all agree that Roger Moore was the best James Bond, right?
I think we're going to see it with Star Wars someday.
Sean Connery's.
I love Roger Moore. He was
the best James Bond ever.
But I do think that they would still be making. I think 100 years from now, they're still going to be making Darth Vader in some form,
Yoda of some form, right?
Because I always go back to Superman and say Superman first came out in the 30s. None of us were even alive or conceived of back then, and yet we still see Superman. That was our grandparents, or some of us could even say great grandparents.
Absolutely, man.
Franchise, you know what I mean?
World War,
and that's still around today. So there's no reason to think that just because we grew up with it in the 80s means that He-Man, Transformers, G.I. Joe, Star Wars are all going to die when we die. No, they're going to keep going for hundreds of years after we're dead.
Just give it all back to George Lucas and let him deal with the toy companies. And
because there's also no reason why Superman and Batman would stop. They've already been going for 100 years. They're going to keep going another 100 years.
I think that the next Batman, they're rebooting all this stuff, but I always wish that they would get to how the Dark Knight, the Dark Knight,
Frank Miller stuff.
Yeah, I kind of always wish that they were going to do like a really old Batman like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was kind of hoping Ben Affleck would like stick around for a while and then become that version, because he looked like he was kind of getting there, right?
Or do the Batman Beyond thing where he's in a wheelchair and he trains the next character.
Cool. As much as Batfleck gets some slack, he can be a great actor. He has one of the best looking bat suits, hands down one of the best looking bat suits. And I don't think James Gunn's officially even teased who his next Batman is going to be, but I think we'll know before Christmas.
Yeah. All right. So good thing we were talking about rebooting James Bond as part of the conversation as to what if Hasbro loses the Star Wars license. So we'll move on to the hot or not section. And these are the toys that revealed that you did not know you needed. Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson will be visiting Ra's al Ghul's Lazarus Pit quite frequently. All right. What about these?
These are badass.
I think they're really cool. And if you order now, you'll get them just in time for Halloween next year.
And they got knee pads. I love it.
That's a patella.
No, these are great. I remember when they teased all the new skeleton mods and skeleton humans, skeleton elves, and orcs, and different size bones.
So
and
they're
all
really look too
swappable.
much at these, but do they come with those headstones and stuff?
No.
Oh,
I don't believe so.
I know
there's a 4-pack.
Yeah, that's the one. That's what this is. This is a 4-pack.
And one of them's a pumpkin head.
Yeah. It's kind of cool. I don't know how a pumpkin has like a skeleton, but I guess it works.
Well, these figures exist. I think this is just a new paint variation on them, because they already have like bone colored skeletons in their line. And these are more of a white gray kind of ghostly edition, I guess. My buddy ordered this 4-pack, and now he said he has no more toy money this month.
Yeah, so these are from the Horseman guys.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look, I'm looking through the pictures right now, and it just looks like they got like a bunch of hands, shields, spears, swords. So they're fighters. And it looks like there's a few different versions of there's a different version of a skull where there's like no mouth. So
it's like ripped off.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool, like different stuff. But it's the 4 Horsemen.
Cool.
They're over
There's
there.
Some reviews on YouTube of the first wave of these. Robo and some guys have them. They're cool, man. Like they pose well. They hold their positions and swords up. And
well, here's the coolest part to me about this is from Big Bad. It's $100, so that's a pretty good deal, right? Yeah. And they're Horseman figures, so that's kind of cool.
Very Harryhausen, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
yeah.
Because I was watching hours of Harryhausen footage on YouTube over the week.
So we got another.
This is from the cartoon. That's cool.
Yeah, we got another real Ghostbusters from Mondo. That looks actually really cool. Now it makes me think like those real Ghostbusters figures might be something to like take a second look at.
Yeah, if they're 6-inch and they go with your car, yeah, why not?
Yeah, because that's really cool.
Because it's the only toy line on the market with scalable figures for the HasLab.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe they knew that. Maybe they also know Mondo's going to release 6-inch Ghostbuster 1 figures that aren't cartoony. Maybe.
But I think it looks really awesome. I'd be totally in for it. I just got to look at the price points.
Yeah, $200 for a 2-pack. It's not cheap.
So they were talking about the SH figure arts. Jonathan said they totally scale with the Black Series. So I mean, I guess if it's SH Figure Arts is the only option if after the Black Series leaves Hasbro, right? And they're making a different.
Well, not in North America because they're legally not allowed to be sold in North America.
The problem with this is, I already have Ben Kenobi, so I won't be ordering another Ben Kenobi. Right?
Yeah, these are all re-releases. I don't
So they
know.
got to
if they
come out
update-
with. Yeah, they got to come out with figures that I don't have already for me to.
But
like,
I do think that this looks better.
It looks great.
It
looks really
does
good.
work way better. The problem is he's not front and center on my shelf. You know what I mean? So,
But I also don't like the price tag on these figures,
Yes,
so that's why I don't.
that's the other.
And I
downside.
don't remember what company. I don't remember if it was SH Figure Arts or if it was the other one that people Mayfex or whatever.
Mayfex?
But they had that 3PO and R2 set where where they're chromite, they're chrome or whatever.
That's a great set.
And it was on discount, so I bought it that time. And I think the figures look great. If you leave them on the shelf and they just stand there, they look great.
Just don't touch them.
The last time I went over to the house where the 3PO had fallen over and fallen onto the floor. And when I picked him up, the chrome paint had flaked off from the fall in certain spots. And then secondly, the arms and legs were all over the place.
Yeah, they're like jello, those things.
They just like fell apart, because though that joint system is just terrible. It's like you can pick the figure up and his legs will stay there. You know what I mean? Because they don't actually snap in.
You're talking about.
No, I have the same set, John. I have the same set. You can't touch them.
Yeah, you just can't touch them. Yeah.
But
is
the
it
back metal
Mayfex?
looks good.
Yeah, I don't know which company. I can't remember which one it was.
It's Mayfex.
It's Mayfex? Okay, yeah.
Because my R2 has a drink tray. And
so the thing is, like, you got to be careful too when you're buying these, right? Like, so this is supposedly a Mayfex Batman, but the problem is I picked this up in a secondhand lot, so I didn't get a box or anything. And it looks really good. And I believe it's legit, but this totally could be a bootleg figure. You know what I mean? Because you have a big problem with
they are brittle
when you're looking at these imported figures, right? Because they're valuable. So there's a lot of people who will crank out some from, like the Lego factory. They just take out the little Lego pin and they're not using the best plastic or whatever. And the next thing you know, you think you're getting a Mayfex, but you're not.
I buy them at AliExpress if you want them to be legit licensed properties.
I actually did a review on my channel a while back of a Black Widow figure that I got that I knew wasn't a legit figure. I knew it wasn't. And then I actually bought one from a third-party seller on Walmart.com, and it turned out it was not a legit figure either.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and Walmart did not take down their profile or anything to let them continue to sell their stuff, even though I reported it. I got my money back and they shipped it back, but they didn't do anything else about it. So you got to be careful, even on like a big site like that.
But I mean, I always question like the word bootleg because, like, I know
sometimes
that like
stolen.
The thing is I know that the Lego ones like are literally made on the same factory because when I worked for Lego, they tried to fight that. They tried this really, really hard to fight it. And they're made with the exact same plastic, the same everything. So they are legit Lego. They're made on the same thing with the same. They just don't have the Lego logo on them.
Well, let me tell you,
they're not technically
authorized by Lego to sell them, and they don't have the Lego logo. They are not legit Lego. They are illegitimate Lego.
But what I'm trying to say is,
yes,
they are the same quality. They're not going to be of a different quality. So what I'm getting at is I know what happens with the Transformers that you can buy on like AliExpress or over here we have Zemu, and they are made by Takara Tomy. They even have the Takara Tomy stamp on them, but they're not distributed in America by Takara Tomy. So technically, they fall under the bootleg category, even though they are a legit Takara Tomy Transformer. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But people over here consider them bootlegs, but they're not. I mean, it's the same one you would buy if you currently flew to Japan and bought it off the shelf. You know what I mean?
Depends on what store you buy it from in Japan.
Or China.
All right. Anyways, Gap is telling me that is a fake Batman, which is what I suspected. I always hoped that it wasn't, but it doesn't matter because I'm going to keep it in my collection. I liked it. I got it in a lot. The lot was super cheap, so it shakes and rattles and rolls a little bit, but it still looks pretty good with some of my other figures. So I'm going to hold on to it. This Wolverine, I don't know about it.
This
It
is
looks
Marvel
weird.
Select.
Okay, it just
So
doesn't
Diamond
look
is the
good.
other company that makes 7-inch
Yeah,
Marvel and Star Wars figures.
Those pegs on the shoulders look weird to me.
Yeah, this is obviously like in a prototype stage, but I don't know.
Oh, is that
I
there?
don't own too many Marvel Selects, so I don't know if they normally
Look at
have.
bullet
hands.
holes, John. The bullets are getting ready to pop
Yeah.
back
Those
out.
are
People's
those are
healing
there to
themselves.
hold the shoulder pads. I get what's going on.
But what's crazy is it looks like it obviously has two sets of arms, one sleeveless and one with sleeves. And I believe the sleeveless version should still have his little shoulder pads. I'm not a Wolverine connoisseur, but
That's what
doesn't he
looks
always
weird
have those
about it.
shoulder pads?
Yeah, I think so. That's what looks weird about it. I
Oh,
guess.
these are early stage pictures, but he's available for pre-order. This
I
and
don't
Carnage.
like the face or the mask. Like the way the face looks, I just don't like it.
Hey, it looks pretty lanky.
Yeah. And then they couldn't even get him to stand up straight. It was weird. I don't know. This is a pass for me.
They couldn't stand.
Here's this
And
one.
about the likeness.
Here's another movie by with The Rock in it. And is Santa Claus the guy who plays Jonah Jameson?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it looks like it. Yeah.
And he's buff.
Yeah. He is. He works out, man. You ever seen
Yeah.
his videos where he's out pumping iron?
Well, he pumps iron in his movie even.
Yeah, that guy's.
So
cut.
is the Rock playing Rudolph?
Did not want to come on today because we were going to be talking about that.
No, his name's like Carlito something. Yeah, they have to save Santa. Santa gets kidnapped, and him and Captain America got to go save him.
With it saying Red 1 with the glowing thing, that makes me think it's Rudolph with the nose so bright.
Oh,
I haven't seen any reindeers in the trailers yet.
You know what? Seeing these figures really makes me
statues.
Want,
These are statues.
No. Okay. Do you know what seeing these really makes me want? When I see the Rock's statue or whatever in that jacket, makes me really want Mystery Men figures, and I want that Mr. Incredible where he has his jacket and all his product labels sewn all over his jacket. I just want Mystery Men figures. I don't know why.
Got some talented sculptors. I'm not. So this is a toy line that's because it's made by Amazon Studios, movie, TV, whatever it is. You can only buy the toys on Amazon. So that's a new weird thing.
Weird.
I don't consider statues.
And they're not really toys. They're just little statues.
Yeah, I
don't see why they would be statues. Yeah.
JT,
well,
you know what? The
the
Jumanji statues have started showing up at Ross, but the only one that I've found so far is The Rock. If I find like any of the other characters, I'm going to buy them because they're so cheap, and I'm going to cut the heads off so that I can like modify them to put on actual action figures that can be articulated.
Like I want that bear, but articulated.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a shame. It's a waste of plastic.
It could still come, if McFarlane's got this license, the master license for Red 1.
Maybe. But it's going to be a 5-inch scale.
No, or 7-inch or 3-inch.
It'll be a 2.5-inch scale. It'll
a new
come with
scale
the Red
this
1 comic book. It'll be a page puncher.
Brand new McFarlane scale this week. Hopefully we'll reveal it in the show.
All right. Anyways, this is the DC Direct Catwoman from McFarlane.
I like this pose.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. There's another picture behind that, of course, and I forgot to separate them, so we're never going to know what that figure is.
It's a Todd's mod.
Yeah. McFarlane did the same with the Fallout TV show. Good statues instead of figures. Yeah. Or he says, well, I won't read what he says, but he said,
Yeah.
yeah, basically, you're right. They should have been figures, not statues.
Yeah.
Here is Shazam.
Looks like SH Figure Arts or whatever.
Yeah. I
Is there
think
another movie coming, or is it just?
No, I think they're just catching up on their.
I wouldn't have made this. No one's going to buy it.
Well, that guy's going to buy one for him.
Zach Levi.
Whoever.
All right, and then Baron Ben's Leviathan armor.
I don't know what that is. I've never seen that. Looks like a
Does it light up or glow in the dark? Is that what?
I don't know, but I mean, the picture makes it look like it. So
Yeah.
It's on the internet. It must be real.
yeah. All right. Well, I shared some pictures today that probably aren't a real figure. Okay, and then Star Trek. I saw people talking about Star Trek all week. These are the figures that this should be a whole section. The action figures that nobody really needed.
Yeah. What
Our
line are
dad
these
wanted
for?
them.
They
Our
look
grandpa.
good, but this
What
guy
line are these for?
what?
These are the Nacelle company.
Yeah.
Oh, did they already do Picard and Kirk and all the
No,
main
they're
characters?
not going to bother with those.
No, the first wave is like 10 figures that aren't any of the popular figures. It's weird.
It's like
Yeah, it's really
I
weird.
think Sulu's in there as one of the characters.
they're not gonna worry about those figures, John. They're just gonna
Oh.
stick with these guys, the ones that people really don't want.
Yeah.
But, okay, admit it. If you're a Star Trek nerd, if you are literally gonna put your hand up, hey, I'm a Star Trek nerd. You know who these characters are, and you're freaking buying them.
Well, I
That's
know
all
who
I gotta
these
say about
characters
Star
are.
Trek.
I
Star
know
Trek
who
nerds are balls deep. Star
I
Trek
know
nerds.
who all these characters are.
Yeah, I know who all
I'm
these
not
characters
buying one
are,
of
and I'm
them.
not
You're
buying
Star
any
Trek
of them.
nerds. Like I'm not. I know Captain Janeway. That's it.
Let me go get my Star Trek Playmates figures
Yeah.
and show you the ones that
But
they
you know
should
what I
have
mean?
made.
Yeah.
You're like, who wants to buy these? Star Trek nerds want to buy these.
No.
No.
No, there's zero Star Trek nerds out there that were anticipating or like biding their time until these three figures came out.
I don't know. I've never really been really close with any Star
See,
Trek.
what I think would have been smart is to have
Trekkers.
made them in a Playmates style. So that way, if you've already got the old Playmates figures, these three never came out in the old Playmates style.
No, I think
So you
these are
might go,
stickers.
oh, wow, I might buy these to keep going with the collection. But yeah, I just don't. I think this is more to your point. For me, I've collected all the Playmates Star Trek figures. So I'm at a point where I will not recollect Star Trek
In a
because
new
I've already
size.
got all those figures. Do you know
This
what I
is
mean?
where I would
What are
do.
those?
Look,
4 inches, 5 inches.
if
They
these
were
are
about 4.5. Yeah.
okay, these are 6-inch figures, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
So as 6-inch figures, they look like they got really good articulation. I'm 100% behind this idea of coming out with a really good articulation 6-inch line Star Trek figures. And when they finally start putting out characters that I'm interested in getting, I'm totally going to get the bridge crew and maybe the transporter team and maybe like some Klingons and stuff like
Yeah.
that, right?
If you saw the full wave,
Andorian. If one of these
it's
guys
from,
was
like,
an
10
Andorian,
different Star Trek
Yeah.
I would have
series.
pre-ordered it already.
Well,
I might get
if
some
you
of the
saw how they broke
aliens.
up the
Yeah,
wave,
you're right.
like
Let me-
every
let me put it
figure
to you
is
like
from a
this.
different series or movie.
If
Like
one of those was even Captain Archer, you know,
look at the other 20
the
pictures.
worst Star Trek show that ever came on TV.
There was like 20 pictures.
No, Discovery's worse than Enterprise.
No.
Come on.
They're all
Okay,
bad.
season
Yes, it
one.
is.
Okay, I'll give you season one, but like,
Yeah, Khan would be sweet. Who doesn't want Ricardo Montalban as an action figure?
everybody, but nobody bought the remake Playmates one. He sat
like
on
we all
shelves
want-
forever.
6-inch Bonanza, so we can have a 6-inch Lauren Green action figure. Michael Landon.
If I were in charge of a company, I would not make 6-inch figures. The cost is just way too high. I mean, like,
You'd probably get demoted from that toy company pretty quick because that's what's the most popular action figure size right now.
How
well,
dare
I
you,
I
Enterprise,
believe
like,
that 5 or
30
6
so.
years ago, but not today.
It's not my favorite, but
No one's buying all the 6-inch figures today.
I
They're
just-
buying one Or two.
baffled here.
All three of us buy
Baffled.
6-inch action figures on a weekly basis.
I don't.
You don't buy G.I. Joe?
I buy G.I. Joe, but that's it. I don't buy Star Wars. I don't buy Marvel hardly anymore.
Now I have something I
Like,
want
that's
to
your
say
last
here.
video?
though.
They're too expensive. They're
Hold
too
on.
expensive.
So on when you're looking at it on the right, a left-handed fist and a right-handed open hand. Then you got a left-handed open hand and a right-handed fist. And for some reason, she can't have a fist. Why is that?
Because she's got to
doesn't
hang on to a cup.
She's
Okay.
a lover, not a fighter.
But what I haven't seen with these figures is a phaser or anything like that.
Did you
And
look at
even if
any
they
of the
have
other
these,
25
there's nowhere
pictures
to
I
put it.
uploaded?
Yeah.
You did?
And where did they take these? Were these pictures taken at the airport on the way to the show or something? The guy's sitting in there. He's waiting for his flight. The plane hasn't pulled up yet. I feel like I'm looking out the windows at the airport.
Yeah, they
I
are. They're at
didn't-
an
I didn't
airport.
crop
Yeah.
these pictures. You did.
You're right. I did.
They are at an airport, though. They totally are at
All
an
right.
airport.
These are. We can't go too much more on that because nobody's buying them. What about these NECA figures? So
No.
you got.
I like them. I just don't like the little paper bag treat. It's
Rick, you got yourself a NECA figure.
I've got a couple.
No, there's a NECA figure of you.
No, I'm bald. That guy obviously has a wig on.
I
that
heard that.
Krampus? That's
So
Krampus.
I heard that they were going to re-release the first wave of figures, the ones that immediately sold out that are like too expensive on eBay for any regular person to purchase.
Oh, the
including-
Ben Coopers?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And
cool. That's cool.
What they're going to do is
They're hot
gonna,
right now.
same costumes, but they're going to swap up the person wearing the costume. So if they had like a girl, it might be a boy.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
brilliant.
that if you have that first wave, it still retains. Now I heard this from Dino. So
You don't know.
I assume he knows what he's talking about because
No.
he's one of only two people that Rick asked a specific toy question of last week and excluded everybody else, and then immediately said, "I didn't ask you because I knew you don't know anything about toys."
And
So anyway,
Hasbro confirmed today they're not changing it.
So that's just a long list of things that I don't know anything about. So apparently, to retain the value of the first line, that's what they're going to do. They're going to re-release them, but they're going to change up the character wearing the outfit.
No,
That's cool,
they're
man.
not gonna do
Yeah.
that.
That's cool.
Okay, so 2 pre-orders coming up, and I think this guy's a build-a-figure.
He is a Build-A-Figure.
Yeah, so you got to get the
Dark
rest
Side.
of them to build them.
The cartoon shading is pretty cool on these too. It's very strong, but you don't
Yeah.
notice it in these full colors.
Yeah, you don't notice it in these
Studio
pictures.
pictures.
You do notice it when they do the studio. Here's the other 3. You know
What
what
the heck happened to Aquaman's hair?
Well, he's
It's
underwater.
wind blown, or
You know
sorry,
what would've
I guess
been
it's
cool?
water blown.
Listen, now that I see this Superman though with the long hair, I
Oh, yeah.
now want them to make a Nick Cage version
That's
from
the closest
from
you're gonna
Flash
get.
movie. I don't know why. I just need the Nicolas Cage head to go on that figure.
Or he needs a Rambo headband, or Hunter headband for all you kids out there.
These pictures make these look really good, but like I think Gap says pass. That's me too. Northern Nomad saying, "Oh boy, that Aquaman with the Farrah Fawcett hair. He's 100% going to buy 10 of those."
You can barely
Um,
see the pins in these photos.
Jonathan
which is amazing.
saying the Superman face is bloody hell. Yeah,
So
everybody
Diamond
knows
Select
that hair.
needs to hire Todd McFarlane's photographer to take their photos to hide all their ghastly pins.
Yes. Yeah. Well, what they did was they just put the light behind the subject, which is what one of the things that you're not necessarily supposed to do when you're taking pictures, but I get it.
Yeah, they take great photos. Like,
Yeah.
hands down. Like, I want that as a job.
So anyway, saw these on Instagram today. You got that Comic-Con over there in London. Is it London?
Yeah, MCM.
Yeah,
Comic-Con.
MCM.
So we got a couple of G.I. Joe
Blowtorch for
reveal.
sure. Yeah, definitely getting Blowtorch.
Yep.
See, this is the first figure of all these that I would buy. Blowtorch.
Oh, good. They finally got you then.
What's the
Yeah.
Cobra guy's name?
I think that's a Toxo Viper, right?
Toxic
Um,
Viper?
Toxo.
Toxo. I think he had a different name. I think I saw that
very-
they calling him something else, but I don't know. I was already kind of out, so
The mask is cool.
don't. It does look cool. I mean, I don't know if I'm Blowtorch. Yeah, this other guy's probably going to be if I can get him at Ross.
Got climbing ropes. So he must be. Maybe they'll have some rock climbing pictures with him.
Oh wait, no, it's a frag viper.
What climbing ropes are you talking about?
Isn't that blue rope? Isn't that a blue rope he's wearing?
It's a frag viper.
Oh yeah, maybe or
It
something.
looks like rope.
Yeah.
And then some kind of weird super soaker attachment. I don't know.
But you're
No,
he's
it's not. It's not actually a rope. It's like a piece of cloth.
Okay.
Oh,
like,
okay.
See, here's the
You can see the
original.
logo up there. The little.
This is the original figure.
like a Middle East trooper or something.
Artwork for the original figure. You see
Oh,
how it's made
wow.
of cloth?
Oh yeah,
Like they're
okay.
cloth pieces.
That's
This
cool.
looks like
I like it.
It's
Middle
a
East
frag
trooper.
viper, Cobra frag viper.
All right, and then we
Was
got.
it an 80s figure?
Yeah, like 87 or 88,
Okay.
somewhere in that range.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with Buddy here.
This is the
Robot.
Nemesis Enforcer. And heavy duty, right?
Heavy duty. That's right.
It looks like that Punisher toy from the 80s that got banned.
Now, do you think it's going to come with this little clam or whatever?
Yeah,
with little tiny Cobra Commander in there.
I do. That would be cool.
Right.
But
Oh, I just saw that. Wow.
it is
There's a
weird if
snake
it
on the other
does
side.
because like I don't remember when Cobra Commander shrunk down to that size.
I
So if
think
it
it's
did-
perspective. He's supposed to be flying really high in the air because you can see on the overside
okay.
you got a giant Cobra thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So I
I
think
bet you it does come with that little clam and Cobra Commander.
I think it would be a cool way to display it.
But that would have to be like a full size thing because Nemesis Enforcer wasn't bigger. I mean, he was like a foot taller.
No,
Than,
like they did with a
Cobra
little
Commander.
Sergeant Slaughter figure, like a little tiny.
I think it's just so when you display it, you can get a little perspective, right? Like he's
Oh, okay.
flying really far away.
sure.
And they're not saying anything about this release, so I'm wondering if this is going to be some sort of a convention exclusive. Should we be expecting this sometime in July of next year?
It's definitely
Well,
they're
I think
both
they
of
said
these.
we're getting nothing next year for GI Joe. You got to wait like a year. For
Yeah.
any
Both
new
of these
G.I.
are going to
Joe.
be deluxe, though, right?
And the reason why I heard that is they're delaying GI Joe production is so they can produce Marvel and Star Wars Disney production because they won't be allowed to produce it in 2 years. So that's one other rumor of why GI Joe is delayed is because they're making their factories produce Disney-owned properties so they can produce and sell
Well,
and
you know,
distribute these toys before
I
they
get what
go
you're
on
saying,
site.
Rick, but I wonder if it could also have something to do with the fact that that Mandalorian movie just wrapped. And maybe they got to get some figures out because that movie's like less than 6 months away.
Oh, for sure. But have you ever heard of Hasbro? Like, okay, let's stop producing toys for the brand we own and let's produce toys for something else. Like, so there's no Ghostbusters toys in production. There's no Power Ranger toys in production. There's no Fortnite toys in production. Like they have no current brands in production.
Well, didn't they get rid of the Power Ranger
That's a
license?
good question. Jonathan's asking a
No,
really
I think
good
they
question
still
here.
have
Hold
it,
on.
Fortnite and Power Rangers. But I mean,
I thought they got rid
there's
of
no
it.
new toys coming out from Hasbro for any toy lines except Star Wars and Marvel Legends for the upcoming year that we know of so far, because nothing else has been revealed. Just our digital renders of GI Joe that they announced at the last Comic-Con. All GI Joe production will be delayed now for the upcoming near
I don't know.
future.
I still have Alpine coming. I have
Who are
But
the
these
characters
weren't
sneaking
on
up on
display.
heavy duty here?
I don't want to wear all that stuff.
John,
That's
can
not
you
safe.
see or no?
what?
Because I'm not having my glasses. I got to.
No, I can't tell actually. It looks like there's a character with some kind of wing back there, like he's got a jetpack
on the
on with a
wall?
Yeah,
wingsuit.
something. I'm going to have to
Yeah.
scrutinize those images later. Anyways, here's some more G.I. Joe reveals, some more retros, and finally CoverGirl. Somebody saying finally we're going to get the blonde CoverGirl, but I mean, they had that
Yeah.
picture when they came out with the other CoverGirl, so I mean,
Did they use that? Okay.
no, they didn't use that one, but they obviously had seen that this is what CoverGirl looks like when they decided to release the other version. That
Well, they
everybody-
did both versions in the cartoon. You know
Oh,
that,
okay,
right?
well, We'll see which
This
one
was-
they come out with.
See, I have a feeling it's going to be the blonde girl because they did the reveal of the snake eyes with the polar
With
bear
a different girl, yeah.
and it's Snake Eyes and the polar bear with the capsule. And when he comes back to the G.I. Joe team with Timber, this version of CoverGirl drives him in,
Okay.
and out of the back pops the
The original
Snake
version?
Eyes, the recovered Snake Eyes with the canister that's in that toy. So I think that they're doing toys from that cartoon,
Oh, okay.
which would mean that she would be.
Oh, well, hopefully
blonde
that'll be
hair.
the case. Hopefully it'll look a
Yeah.
lot better than the other one did because I already did a couple of head swaps on my originals.
Because it was only in
it-
the miniseries, like it was only in those first couple of miniseries that she had the blonde hair, and then later on, they did change her to the one that came with the Wolverine figure,
Like a brown.
brown, yeah, the brown.
All right, so here are some Star Wars Black Series reveals from London Comic Con.
Yeah, these look good.
It looks fantastic. I don't know. I mean, I'm not paying $25.
I'll get this one eventually. When it goes to
Eventually,
Ross. Yeah,
not for 25.
First time in 6-inch form.
Yeah.
All three of these.
and
It looks really good. I
Shakti,
got to tell you though, it does look
because
fantastic.
the Clone Wars Jedi are on my list of stuff to get. So I'll get the Shakti. I'll get this one. I still need to find a Ki-Adi-Mundi that's on sale somewhere. I've been waiting to find him on sale.
Yeah. I think everybody agrees that this figure looks really fantastic. I think they did a good job on it. If it's $19.99 when it hits,
But they
Target,
need to make
I'll get it.
Barris. If we're getting her, we need Barris.
Yeah,
And
she's
then-
like the only female remaining they haven't made, I believe.
I feel like I used to see this figure all the time in a Black Series box, but when they had that like little small version of
It was the
Black
little
Series.
one, yeah.
Yeah,
Did they do
right?
a little one? They may have done a little one of this one.
They
Or-
did a little one of the one you just showed, the first one. Purple girl.
But in that Black Series box.
Yes, 3.75-inch scale with Sandtrooper.
I just remember
involved.
those Black Series had like the two scales, and I feel like I used to see these like this one especially.
I don't remember if it was Black Series or not, but I do have a little 3 3/4 Shakti that's in my Clone Wars.
Yeah, it looks
battling
good.
it's in the battle of the droids with the ship coming down.
Yeah, I think
Pretty
that looks
scary
really
looking.
cool. Of course, next year is what is it
This
Phantom
year.
Menace or something?
Currently, it's the Phantom Menace anniversary.
Oh, okay, that's why this guy's coming out.
Yeah, so I can have a third figure in this line. Well, they got Anakin and Padme. They got a couple now, right? Sabuba. So now they need Watto, and I'll be happy.
And then Mr. B saying,
Yeah,
John,
they
I have
did
an extra
Watto.
Ki-Adi-Mundi for you if you don't mind it being loose. You know
There you
who
go.
doesn't have a Ki-Adi-Mundi?
Thanks, Mr. B. Yeah. They would just go on the loose shelf. So yeah. I don't mind it being loose.
Deal's getting done.
That's nice.
I like this guy. I've always thought he was a cool action figure when I had him in the old
So
Tower
does
of the
this
Fourth Line.
mean there's a pod racer in somebody's future?
I highly doubt it. If they can't make a damn X-wing, I'll tell you what, I've said this before about I've threatened to quit. If they make a pod racer before they make like a Luke's X-wing in Black Series scale, then I quit Star Wars toy collecting.
All right. Here is the Marvel Legends Captain America, who reminds me of the fact that they did a whole wing section for the Captain America when they came out with that huge line, and you had to build the wing, and now you can just get a figure with the full-on wings that fold up like that. But this time he comes with an Ant-Man style helmet.
Yeah, it's very Ant-Man looking, eh?
Yeah. I'm guessing that's because he goes super high altitude with his new wings or something like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think they just wanted to give him a helmet.
And doesn't he have
Yeah.
a drone as a backpack?
The Red Wing, I think, is now Falcon's thing, because if you look at
This
Falcon,
guy got it?
I think he has the Red Wing. But you know, it's kind of interesting, this version of the Falcon, right? Because in the comics, John, and I'm asking John because Rick wouldn't know anything about comics.
No.
I'm just messing with you, Rick. Wasn't this guy mutated in the comics? this character, the guy that the Torres guy, wasn't he? I think that's his name, right? Torres. Wasn't he the one that was mutated and was like half eagle or something like that, or half hawk, or
I-
whatever? Falcon.
I
half
actually
falcon?
don't. I
He,
actually
like-
don't remember. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought he was the guy that was mutated and actually had wings coming out of his arms or something like that.
Could
This guy's
be.
helmet looks cool. See if he's a good character in a movie or not.
Let's see. They need to make Rancor first. Doesn't look like he peed his pants, and if I saw Vernon's other pictures, it looks like he pooped. Okay, yeah, he was telling me because the weight, the brown and stuff like that, and the coloring looks bad. Who was that Falcon supposed to be?
He was in the other movies, right? But before,
Yeah, I think like
little
if you
sidekick.
look at let me pull up his character name in Brave New World, right? Brave New Captain America, Brave New World.
Didn't he like carry his bags or something? Like he was like literally like
He was the guy that was like fixing his backpack or whatever when they were in after.
Yeah, I guess he was quite technical.
Yeah, and then when he got the new, he kept him. So that's, I think he's just because he's his buddy, right? Like, where is he? Oh, Joaquin Torres as the Falcon, and I think that character in the Marvel is the guy who ends up getting like mutated somehow.
Okay,
All right,
maybe
anyway.
that happens in a movie.
Yeah, well, that would be kind of cool. And then, of course, you got the Indiana Hulk version of the
I
Red
call
Hulk.
him Mr. President Hulk, sir, because he's wearing like presidential suit pants here.
Yeah, the only difference between
Although
the
no,
suit pants on that one and the pants in this one is they're a little bit smoother.
those look like spandex. Damn.
They're a little.
Well, that's
bit
like his
smoother, and they don't
Thunderbolt
have
outfit.
rips, and they don't have
Yeah,
rips in the pants.
That's lame.
Yeah.
At least be ripped suit pants, because we see in a trailer he changes into the Red Hulk as he's standing in a suit at the podium. That's the Hulk I want. Like
Yeah.
Those are
the remnants of a suit jacket.
This is, see, what happened is that was a different scene. They modeled this Hulk from the scene when he goes and he does his yoga after his executive meeting, and then
I can
turns
see
into
the
Hulk.
Lululemon logo on there. But I like the hair on the chest. Like otherwise, I don't know. He doesn't really look like the Harrison Ford we've seen in the trailer. So
Yeah,
I'll
that's
still
what
buy it.
Jonathan's saying too. It doesn't look like the Harrison Ford. It's more of like, I don't know. It just doesn't. They should have did the Indiana Jones Hulk. Come on.
I can't
That's what
pass
we
on
all needed.
Hulk. I can't.
All right. Anyways, I think.
So Torres. So Torres, Joaquin Torres. Yeah, he did get mutated in an accident or experimental thingy or something like that, and was he gained feathers, the power of flight, healing, and agility, but it left him in a state of psychological unrest. But he soared into action anyways to save the new Captain America from the jaws of the Serpent Society.
Yeah. So I thought I'd end on that Hulk for the hot or not, because that was pretty much what I saw. But I would like to show you guys this new head that I got.
The Lou Ferrigno head looks great.
It looks really good. I was like, oh my gosh, that guy did a fantastic job on that.
Doesn't look it fits the figure though. It's like
it does a little bit.
You need that on Amigo.
The problem why it doesn't fit is because it's hollow in there, so I got to build it up and get it to sit just a little bit higher. But I think if you look at it, it's a pretty good size.
I thought they made them to pop on already. Okay.
Nah. Some of them
I
they
think
do.
he made them to fit like Migos and stuff. So but you can put them on anything.
I did get a Bruce Banner head too.
Nice.
That I'll
Ed Norton style or Bill?
No,
Bixby?
the Bill Bixby. So I got a Bill Bixby one sitting over there, and just got to paint that up and figure out. I had seen somebody did the Bill Bixby, but they put him on the Bruce Banner, the suited, the one where he's in the lab coat. But I think my Bill Bixby is going to be like in a jacket with like slacks, and I'm going to probably give him like a duffel bag. Right?
Yeah.
Like
no, that's
how you see him.
You got to give him that plaid shirt he always wore.
But
you have the Bill Bixby head there to show us?
Yeah, I'm not going to reveal that yet, just because
save it for next week.
Yeah,
I get it. tease.
save it till after I paint it.
Hulk
Just to
tease.
throw it out there. I just had that like ready to go, and then I got
Little Bixby tease.
I got a head for the X-23 from the Deadpool Wolverine, so I'm going to try to make that custom that everybody's been making from that Chavez figure or whatever, because that one was so cheap.
Yeah.
Dime a dozen. And then I got a couple of other figures that I'm going to be making, and it's going to be on an Indiana Jones body when I get it, and then the other character is going to probably be on a version of this body. So if you can figure out the time frame, the movie, those will be my couple.
You're making Longmire and his deputy, the girl deputy.
No. You know what though? Because there's no really good.
You're making the librarian and that girl that he ran around with.
Almost, John. Almost. You're so close.
Crockett and Tubbs.
You're so close.
Starsky and Hutch.
It's the other one I started
Starsky
watching.
and Hutch would actually be a cool one to do, but you'd want like a grand.
Then you need a car.
Yeah. It's not the same without like the iconic vehicle, right? Like when I did these guys right here, it's like wishing that you were gonna get a helicopter.
It's that girl from
Blue F and
Warehouse. It's the girl from Warehouse 13.
Because Ace was in the chat earlier, there's a video up on YouTube. I don't know the guy's name. I just subscribed to him yesterday because he posted this video for a 20% discount with a discount code on the ramen car, the bread van, the bread car, the recoil, whatever your freaking code name you want to use. You can get 20% off, which is like the pre-order price if you go to that video and get what that code is from that guy. But you're gonna have to look up recoil van because you got it in hand and reviewed it with some Marvel Legends and stuff. It's cool. It's badass, man.
So the problem is then I got to cancel my order, pay the little cancellation fee, and then reorder it and hope that it's less
for
than
more money.
Yeah, 20%.
Oh yeah,
I think he's just offering a discount if people see this YouTube video.
I see. It's Jack Hunter and the girl that from Warehouse 13. That's who they are.
That would be pretty good. But no, not going to build that one.
Liar.
All right. What do you guys got coming up for YouTube this week? Rick, you got anything?
I've been working 3 weeks on my Hammerhead video. I have 10 minutes.
That's not true. When Rick said it's raining, I think I'll do a Hammerhead review. He sat on the couch and ended up watching football.
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Shut up, Bird.
What are you going to do? So you got a Hammerhead video coming out in a month.
I got to sell some toys and pay some bills this week. That's priority number one.
All right. Hey, if you're still watching, if you can hit the thumbs up button on the video, I'd really appreciate it. It helps kind of YouTube decide that it's a video worth watching, might push it out.
Do you think this video will get 10 million views in the first 8 hours?
Yep.
What video?
This video right now we're on.
No.
Do we have that kind of pull yet? Okay.
No.
Tomorrow I'm selling a huge pile of stuff.
Nice.
Oh, look at these guys.
Half price. Have you said you saw this video and liked it?
Online right here.
Entrepreneurs. Nice. I'm gonna be going through my garage too, and
I'll beat all John's prices by $1.
I'll probably
12:30 Eastern tomorrow. 12:30 Eastern, live on my channel.
Oh, you're gonna do an auction thing on your channel.
Well,
I have to sell some stuff now that I have to sell some stuff. I had been buying these like figures from like Ross and kind of keeping them. And one of my things that I was gonna do was I was gonna do a big video and like do like a Toys for Tots. I probably have like 40 figures that I'm gonna take down there, but I was hoping that I was going to be able to do a lot more, but because of my recent car troubles and stuff like that, all that's done now.
That's cool.
I had to pay for that. So.
Well, part of a lot of it is
they're going to get 40 figures.
I put like 5 or 6 boxes of stuff up to sell, and then some of the stuff sold before people in the community got to see it, and they started asking me, "Hey, do you have this figure?" And I'm like, "I do, but it just sold." And they were like, "Well, why didn't you tell us first?" So now that's what tomorrow is. Before I put all those boxes up, tomorrow is to show everybody in the community what I have on offer first, so that if you guys need any of the figures, you can grab them.
That's
and
good.
for
That's good.
cheaper than what I would put them up normally. You know what I
I've
mean?
been sharing some of my toys in the green room on Twitter, but I'm not a big toy seller on Twitter.
Yeah, me either.
But it's just something to share. Like, there are people, you never know who you're going to reach, right?
That is true. Never know who wants what. Somebody might want this secret agent Spider-Man Snake Eyes.
Yep.
You never know.
Did you
You
see the
never know.
photos of Nick Cage as Spider-Man Noir? And because they're filming that right now. It looks cool
nothing
because it looks like it
vintage.
takes place in like the 40s.
Yeah, that's noir. That's the whole thing.
But that's cool. That you guys know I like timed movies, like where they have to actually build props and fake cars and buildings and cars. I love that stuff.
They don't have to build any
Time
of that
period.
stuff. It's all going to be digitally
I
rendered.
got to rent the props from a prop company.
All right, do you already have a link for your stream, John?
Yeah.
Can you throw that in the chat for everybody to like click on, so that they can click on it and save it or whatever?
Sure.
All right. And then anyways, I don't have anything coming up unless something happens that I'm going to complain about something, but I have heard that there's a helicopter getting ready to fly out from its home base and start landing in houses across America and probably Europe.
That's cool. Well,
So if I get that next week, I'll definitely be doing a video on that.
See, I don't even know where I could do it. The problem I'm having is I tried to do a video for my 12-inch Darth Vader that came in, and the display base, there's like 2 different versions of it, and it's gigantic, and I couldn't even, like, I'm getting sick of my setup because I don't have the room, like a backdrop or a big thing.
You know what you need to
put
do?
something that big.
Like, go into your toy room, figure out like what's against the wall that you want to like move so that you can build like your little space. Box all that stuff up, ship it on over to me. I'll put it on these shelves over here. I'll send some over to Rick. He can.
I could remove this whole and
hold
put
on
Hot
to that
Vader
stuff
right there.
Yeah.
And then you just got to make sure you don't buy any new stuff to put in that space.
There's just not enough room to do a video of things that are that big.
I actually,
so I don't know if the Darth Vader video will ever be done, or if I'm even going to do one for the helicopter.
I had always done my reviews on like one of these like little, those like little cube display boxes. I had one in front of this window right here, and I had closed off the window with like some cardboard and put some felt, and I'd always just use the top of that thing. It was kind of always annoying because I couldn't really get in there. And then like as I was moving my room around, I was using like a corner table. But so now what I did was I bought one of those desktops from IKEA, and I got it on top of 2 corner pieces that are not being used in the corner anymore. So I have a big kind of tabletop desk, which I can stand at.
Like a standing desk?
Yeah. It's the height of a standing desk. And right now I have the Vanguard, the Stinger motorcycle, and probably like 20 figures up there, like kind of spread out. You've seen them. If you've seen my rant videos, you see that table behind me.
Yeah.
And it's pretty big. And I'm able to keep up some of the diorama pieces, those extreme sets pieces in the background. And so I just created this bigger environment. You have a lot of space, John, and what you could do really is
you see space here?
Yeah, what you could do is you could get rid of, you could
where is the space? You tell me
totally
where
100%
where is all that supposed to go?
Okay,
if I'm going to put a table in there.
You can't keep interrupting me. You can 100%, right? Just put a table in front of those sliding glass door
Oh, over there. I see what you're saying.
Put it
Right
on
in
the
that little
carpet.
tiny
Oh,
aisle.
wait, John, there's a lake right over there. There's a whole bunch of grass right up front. You could probably go down there with like a TV tray and
Just
just
float.
film everything in front of the lake.
And most of what you just saw is all modern stuff. That's why tomorrow there's a sale. We're going to go through every single one of those boxes that you just saw all along this place and get rid of a lot of it. Hopefully. He just knocked stuff over.
Just my phone. All right. Anyways, before Ricardo says, nice show, we got to go. I got to go. Letting us know we just hit the 2-hour mark.
I was actually supposed to go an hour ago, but
yeah.
because you didn't have anybody on with you, I decided to stay.
Oh,
Nobody.
you're so
I'm
nice.
I'm gonna walk on the other side of that pond and meet him at hole number 8 or 9 or wherever he is. So
Did you hear that, Rick? John stayed because I didn't have anybody else on.
Yeah, it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt.
All right, everybody. We want to thank everybody in the chat for showing up and hanging out and throwing up your comments and being part of the conversation. We enjoy it. I enjoy it every week coming on, kind of like bantering a little bit around with everybody on the panel. I especially like it when Rick tells me that I don't know about something. That makes me feel really good about what I'm doing.
What is the name of the eagle that Peacemaker hangs out with?
I don't watch that show because
All you have to do is to add a letter. Just
I have no idea.
eagle.
Beagle.
My name is
Okay, and
Eagle.
everybody, thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it. And thanks you guys for showing up. And John, thanks for hanging out with me because if you weren't here, there would be nobody here for me to talk to. All right, we'll see you guys next time on the Toy Duo team.
I feel the need for speed. And TV and movies too.